CEO of Safaricom has announced here that access to Fuliza, the interest rate will come down by 50%. That is a step in the right direction. And many people will benefit from this step. I am very confident that we can do more and we can do better. And I want to encourage Safaricom and your partners to continuously assess this facility so that progressively we can move towards a much more favorable interest regime that gives majority of Kenyans the opportunity to have flexible arrangements on their financial requirements. I also want to say the following, that Fuliza is addressing a certain category of borrowers on short term. As you have indicated yourselves, there is more traction towards 14 days, 14 days. It should speak to you that you need to think about other instruments and other facilities that should be able to take care of a slightly longer term borrowers. I also want to state here that the government of Kenya, and I have the nominee for Treasury here and the nominee for ICT here, these two gentlemen will be working with you in the financial fintech space, because we want to work on credit, especially for our micro, small and medium enterprises. That is the space where we have the largest opportunity. That is the space that employs almost 80% of our population, and yet they are constrained by access to credit. I have listened to many of them in the campaign trail. I was giving these good people an example of Shiko in Ruaka Market and her team. They borrow 1 million shillings every day, and they pay as high interest as 10% per day, which translates into 3,600% per year. Shiko and her team, they don't want free money. They are telling me, Mr. President, can we pay the same interest that Kenya Breweries is paying? Can we pay the same interest that the big companies are paying? That's all they're asking, and I don't think it's too much to ask. So, progressively, and the assignment I'm going to be giving to these two gentlemen is to work with you in the private sector to develop a product where Shiko, a mama mboga in Ruaka, and a boda person can also have access to credit at single digit rate. And I am willing to work with you in a public-private arrangement so that we can mitigate some of the risks that come with lending to that category of Kenyans. I am very confident that if we give Shiko and her team, and many of them in Kenya, the opportunity to borrow at single-digit interest rate, they can double, if not triple, their business. And it is good for everybody. It is good for the fintech companies, it is good for the banks, it is good for the taxpayer, it's good for the taxman, and it's also good for me. So I think we can have a win-win. I think it's good. We're going to have a win-win arrangement. So in the short term, the assignment Eliud Owalo and my good friend Professor Njuguna will have is to structure with yourselves the Hustler Fund. We are ready to commit public resources to underwrite some of the risks so that chamas, cooperatives, SACCOs can access credit at single-digit interest rate. This is the future we are looking at, and from where I sit, we can make it a reality in a very short time. Secondly, in this space, we should also, and I have heard from NCPA, we should also find the model that encourages savings. Borrowing functions best when we have savings, because you cannot borrow what you don't have. And we have continuously borrowed the savings of others, and that is why we are becoming slaves to our lenders. It is time every Kenyan, and we are working with other sectors, including NSSF and other financial instruments, to make sure that we take our savings from the current maybe 9, maybe 10% of GDP to 20-25% of GDP. That way we can have not just a secure present, but we can also have secure or ensure our future. I am looking forward to working with all the actors in this space to ensure that we build our savings culture and our borrowing must not only be responsible, but it must also be affordable. I like the words Governor said here about affordability. That way we can spur the activities of many of our micro, small enterprises who are struggling today, not because their enterprises cannot do well, but they are limited by access to credit and access to financing for what they want to do. We will also be working on ensuring that our stock exchange also works better. It can also be another source of making sure that we can raise resources that can help build our enterprises. That is why I have created the Ministry for Trade, Investment and Industry, so that we can look much more closely to our financial markets,